Let's begin in Switzerland. The latest on the fire at the Constellation Bar in the early hours of the morning in New Year. We've just heard the most comprehensive press conference yet in Sion, in the city in the south of Switzerland, at the health centre there where dozens of people are being treated. Now, the two main points to come out of there, one of them to which the likely cause still not confirmed, but the chief prosecutor for the region, Beatrice Palau, saying that it is an assumption that it was so-called fountain candles that were placed inside champagne bottles that were raised to the ceiling, which caused it to catch fire and spread very rapidly. We're also hearing that it is 40 people confirmed to have died. There are 119 people injured. 113 of those have now been confirmed. 71 Swiss, 14 French, 11 Italian. And also that there has been an investigation ongoing to which members of the management at Le Constellation Bar are now being questioned over regulations of whether it was in keeping with what was agreed, the numbers of those inside, and whether the exits were clear for people to get in and out easily. Let's hear from what happened a short while ago. This is what was said within the press conference.
Everything leads us to believe that the fire began from candles or sparklers that were put on champagne bottles, and all of this was placed too closely to the roof, or the ceiling rather, and that's when there was a flashover that took place in this establishment. To arrive at these results, there are videos that were obtained and analyzed. We are facing a tragedy and a dramatic number of human losses. The latest was 40 people who have died. This is very upsetting, and on behalf of the government of Valais, I want to express all of my sympathy and most sincere condolences to the families for what they're going through. Many injured people are still fighting for their lives. Many people have been taken into hospitals, and their life is still in danger. They are being taken care of by exceptional teams in Sion, throughout the country, and also in neighboring countries' hospitals.
We also heard in the press conference from Pierre-Antoine Langan, who is he's the Swiss Judicial Police head. He talked about the DVI, which is the Disaster Victim Identification Unit, being set up for the first time since the 2004 tsunami in Indonesia, and in which thousands of people were killed, hundreds of thousands of people. And he said, given that we need to have specialist teams of police, forensics, doctors, dentists to look and use analysis of dental record and other evidence, such, he said, is the severity of the fire itself. Well, a short while ago, I spoke to our correspondent outside Le Constellation, Olivia Bizot, and put some of these points to her, including the analysis, the early investigation into whether the regulations were in place and whether or not eyewitnesses suggested that this was foreseen, that there were problems within the venue.
New Year's Eve is obviously a big celebration around the world, but especially here in Switzerland. It's a huge celebration. We're in a resort that is at the peak of its tourist season, so a lot of people have had been coming here for their holidays to celebrate when this terrible incident took place. And on Tuesday of this week, the local mayor had actually banned the use of fireworks because they were afraid of a fire taking place, because they said that they hadn't received any rain in recent weeks. So we were at, there was a very high possibility of a fire taking place. And even though those measures were put in place, a fire actually still happened, but in a very unexpected way. I think it was difficult and impossible for anyone to foresee that something like this could have happened. And I think now a lot of questions are being asked about the safety measures that were put in place, about a lot of the, the fire safety measures as well. And I think what will be interesting is what measures are put in place now by local authorities to ensure that nothing like this ever happens again.